Hello and welcome to FX Street Currency in Play. I'm joined by Eddie Toppick, who is head of FX at ADM ISI. It is ECB day.
Yes.
Rate decision.
Yes.
This is the big highlight today,
And the taper and the QE and the blah, blah,
Yes.
blah, and all the rest of it. Yeah. First opportunity to actually really have a look at that.
Fantastic. So if we look at the headlines, obviously euro dollar, euro comfortably numb above the 118.
I think that's a really good explanation of the market, numbed, just waiting to see what happens next.
Indeed, 118 comfortably numb, courtesy of Pink Floyd there. And cable sterling off GDP related highs.
Yeah.
So let's look at the chart for euro dollar first off. Obviously mindful of the rate decision and tapering and the presser with Mario Draghi afterwards today. Technically, well, say comfortably numb, stuck around this 118 level. Where do we go?
Well, it's very interesting because the last time we spoke, it said there was a head and shoulders top, which was actually formed the crown of a larger head and shoulders. And we were working then up the second shoulder. And it absolutely did the right thing. Went up to the previous neckline, held up there, and then came off. Recently, though, it started to go a little bit sideways, backwards and forwards, and it's this numbness that we've been talking about. But then if you compare that shoulder to the previous one, which was in late July, early August, the width of it isn't too bad. It's actually probably similar. The highs are lower still this time round, so it is indicative of a try towards the neckline, which is down near the moving average around about 116.80. But it's not really moving as yet. It maybe does need a spur to get it going. But as you say, comfortably numb. It's looking a bit bearish, but in the last couple of days it's pulled back up again. But it's within a very, very narrow range at the moment.
And, well, ECB, can it break that range? What will get the market going?
That could be an ideal situation. Other than that is obviously time, because the medium moving average is ascending a few points every day. We're approaching 117 on that. Then very soon after that, it will come up to the next area, which is around 117.20, which is the first area of support. And then after that, we start hitting the market, and whether this medium moving average scoops it up or if it gets punched through. So either one of those, time is actually hitting onto it, and it will start moving in one direction or another. But at this moment, comfortably numb, third state of markets going sideways.
Understood. Let's look at the euro versus sterling.
This is interesting because I've drawn these Andrews and Schiff pitchforks, and it's come up to the first Andrews pitchfork support, and it's worked beautifully on it. I mean, these were drawn back in late September, and the first area of support, it came down middle of October, bounced straight back up again, bounced up to the 50% Fibonacci level, and then it's come off since then, and it looks like it was going to bounce up from there, but then yesterday it formed a key reversal down, but there's no follow-through today so far. So it's still hanging on in there. The market is in neutral because it's below the medium and above the long. So it's technically, I would say, actually moving towards a neutral state. But the longer-term picture is still bullish. There are more opportunities for it to go higher. There's one moving average which is heading down. All the others are pointing towards a higher market still. So yes, that's still there, but it almost tipped it over yesterday.
Understood. Obviously on the GDP numbers, we have also looking at cable.
Yep.
Interesting here.
That's a key reversal up. Yep. That's brilliant. It came down to the shift pitchfork line, came down to the Fibonacci levels at 113.11 and 113.21, and yesterday, bang, straight through some pretty good resistance, which is between the 132.48 area and 132.14. It went above it. We've only had one close above it, but it's still a key reversal. So watch out for that one. That's more likely that we'll see sterling strength as actually precursor into the euro sterling, and maybe then into the euro as well.
And you've brought along four different currencies.
Well, we've got the yen to go through first.
Oh, sorry, apologies. Yen, let's start with that.
Now, this is from last time. Again, I suggested this whole action from September, October, a bullish halfway hesitation. So you've had a big long leg up, then it's tipped over a bit, and is it starting to go higher? And I'd written at the time last week when we spoke, potential for key reversal up on the weekly chart. That was on the Thursday. On a Friday, it was confirmed.
Yes.
Please be aware Japanese markets are the most technical of all of them because that's where TA comes from.
Yes.
So I'd look for those to be suspect, but it is looking as if it's going to try higher again, and it has done. It's the first real resistance, obviously that stuff back in the high in July, which is just around about 114 and a half. But if that goes, then we're looking as a target area for the upside around 117 and 3/4, if this hesitation actually comes through, and this is a halfway hesitation. But at the moment, it's looking positive in that sense. All moving averages are either pointing sideways or going up. So yes, it is looking higher.
Bullish on dollar yen, fantastic. And Aussie dollar, and well, the four currencies we want to look at
now,
today.
There's a theme, there's a common theme for these, so I'll skip through them very, very briefly, which is in this case, it's a double top, weakness in the Aussie, strength in the dollar. There's the strength in the dollar situation that I wanted to talk about, specifically to commodity currencies. And it's not just EM currencies, but in this case, Aussie. Now, today, that's been down due to the poor figures from one bank in Australia. But this was already telegraphed 4 or 5 days ago, and we've seen new lows. And today we punched, earlier this week, we punched through the medium moving average. Fine, we've done that before, so the market was neutral. But we punched through yesterday, though closed above it, the long moving average, and we're lower than that today still. So there's pressure on the Aussie. You've got a big band of support around about 76.30, and the target for this double top would be about 75.5.
Okay, and a few other currencies in a similar vein.
Exactly. Now look at dollar rand. Now this is a different situation. Nothing to do with a bank, it's to do with their finances. And the dollar's punched higher through that. Again, we've got a lovely Andrews pitchfork, and it just tipped up to the top end of that. But that's looking, again, dollar positive, EM, commodity currency weaker, and that's something to bear in mind. That you've got the resistance, which is at 14.29, and support at 13.91.60.
And Brazil?
Brazil, a similar situation. An EM currency and a commodity currency, but a different pattern, but a dollar strength. Weakness in the local currency. In this particular case, it's reverse head and shoulders top. It just fell short of the first target, but it's heading towards that. The first target's around about the 13.27.30 area, and we just came short of that around about 3.27.30 area. 3.26.70 was where the high was, which is another fib resistance. But there's opportunity for the dollar to still go stronger because of this. It could go all the way down to 13.18 and still go higher.
But looking at a South American currency as well, Mexico, or the Mexican peso.
This is the exception. We had a key reversal down, a strength in the Mexican. The reason I'm pointing this out, and there's nothing else other than this, maybe this has already happened in this one because it's the closest to the US dollar in many ways. So maybe the Mexican has been the one that's led this so far, and we're seeing the turnaround in those currencies. But it's led by the Mexican. The others have still got some time to go.
Understood. And again, looking at the calendar today, well, all about the ECB. Look out for some US data, obviously, and the Catalan Parliament in session as well, how that pans out. Certainly all eyes to that. But again, it's the ECB, and
the presser, the QE, the whole thing about that.
Yeah, we look forward to that. I'm very excited. We'll be tuning in over lunchtime to see that. But in the meantime, Eddie, thank you so much for joining us here on FX Street Currency in Play.
Thank you.